Today, I'm very excited to be joined by one of BC's big men of the ring, as seen at Boom, Thrash, Combat, Dusk, 365, amongst many other promotions. Rex Rothschild, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Really excited to learn a little bit more about yourself and your journey here. So you trained out of the Lions Gate Dojo. Tell me about your experience there and maybe one particular memory you'd love to share.
Lions Gate Dojo is by far one of the coolest places I've ever come across in my entire life. I came across it completely randomly. Basically, prior to COVID, I had been a baseball player like my entire life. So I'd playing like adult men's league baseball, and just before COVID, my team happened to fall apart. A lot of the players that I was playing with, they either got married, started families, moved away, all that sort of stuff. So I was kind of left without an athletic outlet at all. I had like the gym and stuff like that, but I've always been something more than just that. And so I had friends at the time. I'd been playing slow pitch softball with Daniel McCabe of all people,
Yeah.
and him and Alan Jepson just happened to mention to me, they're like, "Have you ever thought about trying wrestling?" And I was like, "Yeah, like when I was a kid." And they're like, "No, no, no! Like there's a wrestling school, like literally, it's blocks from my house." And they're like, "Have you ever thought about that?" And I was like, "No." They're like, "Well, you should." So as soon as that happened, I looked into it, and sure enough, they were holding tryouts, like not that far from that time. And I was like, okay, like let's sign up, let's do this. But with COVID, eventually the lockdown happening, it kept pushing the tryout back further and further and further. So then finally, post COVID, like when all like there's still like there was like rules and regulations on how many people you could have in a space and all that sort of stuff. The school held our tryouts, and so I went. I tried out. It's by far one of the most fun things I've ever done in my entire life, but also one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And I wasn't expecting to pass the tryout at all. Like it was really hard. It's a lot of stuff that I had never done in my life or things that I hadn't done since I was like a kid in like an elementary school gym or like tumbling and stuff like that. So when I got the email saying that I had passed and that I was invited to join the school, I was ecstatic at that point in time. So I was all in right from there. I was in at every class I could possibly be to and just trying to soak it all in. And for like a memory or a story, I have to say it's the community that I would say that the dojo has brought. Just all the other wrestlers that happen to train there, the coaches, everything like that. It's more of a family than it is anything else. And I mean, coming from like the baseball background where it's been like a very competitive nature, competing for like spots on a team or a roster or something along those lines. Wrestling has been completely different. Everybody at the dojo has been so welcoming and just so kind in terms of like helping you progress. Like you only become a better wrestler when other people want to help you become a better wrestler. And it's been that the community that the dojo has brought to me is probably the best part of wrestling.
Yeah, and wrestling is crazy because it's this individual sport kind of in essence, but it's not at all. It's this weird juxtaposition.
That's exactly it. I try and explain to people that it takes two people of three, if you include like a referee as well. It takes everybody to have a good match. Like you want to showcase all of your skills, but it's also your job to showcase your opponent's skills. Like that's it. It takes everybody to come together and collaborate to really have a good match. So it's interesting when you watch it. You see, okay, it's very competitive in the way that it's presented to you, but the behind the scenes part, the collaborative effort story is where the real magic part of wrestling is. I love it.
Yeah, it's that dance, it's that story that you have to tell. And
Absolutely.
you talked about like getting other people's stuff in, showcasing your stuff. For someone that's never seen one of your matches, tell them what to expect.
For myself, I mainly work as a heel. So, I mean, right from the get go, you see me walk out the curtain. Most of the time, people or most places, people know me now. It took me a while to kind of build that to get the fans to kind of know who I am just by the sound of my music or whatever it happens. But I feel like I kind of have that following now. So, from the moment I come out that curtain, I'm in your face. I'm calling fans losers. I'm doing whatever it is that I can to get the heat from those people and from the ding 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 of the bell there. Expect full on just aggression from me. I'm going to come at you. I'm not a fancy wrestler. I'm not a very agile, flippy kind of person. So expect big, hard impact, big move wrestling. That's what you can expect from me. Hard hitting. Yeah.
You talked about how you've just kind of played a heel from the get-go. Does that come
Yeah.
natural to you?
It does. I mean, and it's odd though because I mean, With the way they teach you in wrestling, they tell you like your best wrestling personality is like your own personality, but turn the volume up on that. And I find it very hard because I mean, it's for me. I do believe I'm a very nice person in person. Like I know talking to fans and stuff like that, you don't get the same Rex that you get in the ring for the fan experience. Like I love talking to people. I love hearing people's stories about wrestling and stuff like that. So outside the ring, I'm a very nice person. Inside the ring, no, complete opposite. I'm there to win. I'm there to win at all costs, whatever I have to do. So I mean, there's a big difference between those personalities, but I find it very fun to be able to tap into something that I'm not every day. So I mean, being nice guy Rex outside of the ring and then get to be the mean heel inside the ring. It's fun to flip that switch and be something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have any specific goals in wrestling? And also, if you can, maybe add a bucket list opponent that you've got on there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, goals in wrestling. I mean, it's always changed. I mean, I got into wrestling later than most in life. Like, I think my tryout was originally supposed to happen on like my 37th birthday, so I didn't get into wrestling until 37, 38 years old. So I mean, the goals that I have are probably different than somebody in like their 20s getting to wrestling who wants to be a WWE superstar or an AEW guy or something along those lines. For me, it started with learning and wanting just to have that first match. That was my whole goal, just have one match and just say that I did it. And then once I finished that, then the goals started to evolve. Then it was okay, let's start wrestling some of my friends. Let's try and have better matches. Let's win a championship. Let's do all of that. So I mean, my goals are still in that ballpark. I would love to win a singles title. I mean, I've been lucky enough to be a thrash tag team champ with the Gamblers, the Big Stack Bullies. We still get to do that as often as we can, but I mean, for a singles championship, that's a bucket list goal there for me as well. And then just to get to wrestle more of my friends, I would say more of the people that are coming up through the dojo and the already established wrestlers. Those are some of my main goals as well. I mean, dream opponents. I believe I have two essentially right now. For a singles match, my dream is Miles Deville.
Hmm.
He's been one of my favorites since I started training in the dojo. He's been such a big influence and a big help in getting me to learn things and evolve my own character and stuff like that. He's a wonderful person in and out of the ring, and just to be able to have that singles match with him, that would be next level for me. And then for a tag match, Sinner and Saint. I mean, I can't I don't know anybody who wouldn't put those two guys on their list. And I mean, I've been lucky enough to have a match with Travis Williams singles, but I've never been able to be or to share the ring with Judas. So I mean, to be able to have that as a tag match, that's a dream for me right there.
Top-notch guys right now in the entire industry, not even just
Absolutely.
like the Pacific Northwest, right? So,
Yep.
some three huge names there for you. So fingers crossed that you get to get those matches.
Thank you.
What one that I want to throw out there, you talked about a lot of the up and comers out of the dojo. I think you and Rishi, Dave Rishi, would be really fun because just the size difference, the way that he just takes bumps, that would be a lot of fun.
It's gonna happen. We're actually already booked. It's part of the Boom Kids League. That's happening out in Kitsilano right now. So that one's scheduled for the new year, I believe. I can't remember the exact date that one's scheduled for. But yeah, I will finally get to have that match with Rishi. That one's on the book, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Perfect. I totally forgot you guys were even in the same bracket. That's
Absolutely.
yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about Boom and Kits League later in this chat here, but
Sure.
yeah, that's some really good up and coming matches potentially there for you.
Absolutely.
So you talked about how like you're coming up into the industry kind of late. We've seen guys like DDP and Batista do their thing at a later age, so you just never know what this can turn into. But you're also doing a lot kind of outside of the wrestling side of things. You
Yeah.
run a company called Rent a Ring, where essentially, from what I understand, you rent out rings to local wrestling companies. Talk a little bit about the logistics behind that and the idea that brought Rent a Ring to life.
It originally started like prior to the pandemic. From what I know, there was mainly just two wrestling companies here locally, and since the pandemic, wrestling is booming all over Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. And there was a lot of people that have the dream to run a wrestling show, but never wanted to put the money down to invest to buy the actual wrestling ring. Probably the most expensive thing that you can have to start a promotion, at least, anyways. And there weren't that many companies where you could actually rent a wrestling ring. I think there were only two. And so I looked at that and I thought there's room here for somebody else to come in for at least the rental part of it and help people try and fulfill those dreams. Like I tossed up the idea of running a promotion myself, but at the same time, that one was far beyond me. A lot of my friends wanted to get involved in it, and they still are. And I don't want to compete with my friends that way. I mean, I'll happily let them run those. And if I can make some money by doing the rental part of it, that part's fantastic. So I mean, we're approaching 1 year of ring rentals. I think as of October 24th, I think will be 1 year of ring rentals, and I think it'll be 21 events that I think we have helped put on in Vancouver, for 11 different companies, I believe, in the Lower Mainland. So I mean, that in its own has been fantastic. I never dreamed of that off the beginning of it. Like the whole idea, I never thought there'd be that many people interested in it and repeat customers and stuff like that. So that in its own has been a wonderful way just to be involved in wrestling in a different way. So I mean, the trying to get the wrestling ring, that was a struggle. We were trying to contact all these different places to find where we could get one from and all of that. So we finally found a place in Kentucky that manufactures wrestling ring as their regular business. So we went to a company that does it all the time, and we put it in an order, and we had it shipped to us. And as soon as it arrived, we built it in a warehouse, and we were just like, here it is. It's a dream come true. It's something I never thought that I would own in my entire life, but I can now say that I do. I own a wrestling ring.
That's so cool. Like, so you talked about it's been, essentially a year to 21 events.
Yeah.
That's more than 2 events per month that you're renting rings out for.
It's been fantastic. Like it's been like random things too. Like the first event that we did was for a night, an adults only show at Science World, where it was a murder mystery mixed with wrestling. So I mean, with that, I got to star in the show as well, which was wonderful. Myself and Jackie Lee got to put on a show that was done with Science World as well as Boom. Boom was the actual like wrestling company that was contacted to put on the show. So that was the first one. Something I never thought that I would get to do there or see even would be a wrestling show inside a Science World. So I mean, between that and I mean my two biggest partners in wrestling for the ring rental part, Dusk Pro,
Mhm.
Parm Singh Mann, who runs Dusk Pro, he's my business partner in that as well. So I mean, it's always being used for Dusk shows. He's starting to run a lot more often now. You'll see probably 2 more shows before the end of this year. And then Boom, every show that Boom runs outside of the Boombox, they're my customer as well. So I've been more than happy to be able to provide the ring to them. So that's at least one show every month with them, one every second month with Dusk. We were able to help out 365 Pro Wrestling come over to the mainland, run some shows here. We were involved with the startup of Invoke with their shows there in Vancouver, as well as helping out No Fate. Some other up and coming like companies now. There's Open Road Wrestling out in the Fraser Valley. There's a whole bunch that are like popping up now. There's a new one out in Port Moody now, Tap Wrestling Federation. They ran their show this past weekend, and we were the ring provider for that as well. So it's a fun market to be in. There's a lot of people looking to start companies or run shows, whether it be for fundraisers. We helped out Panorama Ridge Secondary School with their wrestling fundraiser. So just all of these different events that have been a fun way to get involved with wrestling and meet more people and help people put on their dream shows. That's a big thing for me. I love that. That's so much fun.
That the resume that you've built with this company in less than a year is incredible. That's so cool.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We're still looking to expand. I mean, there's so much more room in Vancouver for more shows that it's there. Like it's such an exciting time to be a part of wrestling in Vancouver, and then to be able to do it in different ways. To be a wrestler as well as like a ring rental company, it's fantastic. It's so much fun.
As a ring company, the wrestlers, the fans, like we're spoiled. We are
Yeah,
spoiled.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So talking about kind of outside ventures, I saw that you posted something recently on Instagram, something really interesting that I saw. It was some sort of product. It was Rex's, I think it was called Cheap Heat hot sauce.
Yes,
And
yes.
then what was the other product was your big stacked sour snacks.
You got it.
Talk to me about that.
I'm trying to tap into like the merchandising world in ways that wrestling normally doesn't. Like I mean, you always see it every wrestling show. Every wrestler has a T-shirt and probably some stickers for sale, which is great. I mean, I love being a part of that as well. I will also have T-shirts and stickers and stuff like that available. But I'm trying to think of ways to get my name, my brand, and even other wrestlers' brands out there in ways that you don't normally see. So the original idea that I actually had was to come up with my own beer. I wanted to start promoting my own beer and maybe get that picked up by like the 19 plus venues
Mhm.
and sell my beer. And I was like, okay, well that works for that market, but what about all ages venues and stuff like that? And there aren't a lot of shows that even have concessions and stuff like that nowadays. So I was like, what can I get into? And like I'm a sucker for candy. Like you will always see me at wrestling shows eating candy backstage because I'm addicted to it. So I thought about why not take that and turn that into a way just to kind of get myself out there in a way, a merchandising way. So I'm doing that now. I'm now packaging candy. I'm now about to put it out there for sale. I'm partnering with other wrestlers now as well to try and create basically like a little candy pack of things that we can then find a way just to promote ourselves, promote our brands in a very cheap, cost effective way. Like I'm not trying to ever make money off of people. I believe fans spend more than enough money on tickets coming to our shows that if I can find a way to get you products or something like that, where you're basically helping me by getting my name and stuff like that out there, it's going to be very, very cheap costs. So I'm keeping everything that I promote, whether it be the beer, whether it be the candy or the hot sauce, basically at cost price. Whatever it costs me, just round that up to the nearest dollar, and that's what I'm selling it for. So I'm not trying to make money, just try to get my name out there for myself, my friends, and anybody else that wants to be involved in it.
Well, next show I'm at, count me in.
Done.
I'll grab a pack.
Done. I got them all packed up, ready to start selling. So
And any other fun products you have kind of tinkering in the brain there?
there's a few, like I always kind of have something on like the back burner for this, and it's just like the candy was the first thing. The beer is something that I would like to introduce. That's going to be a little more intricate in terms of how it comes out, obviously with liquor licenses and stuff like that. But I would love to be able to have that out there as well. I mean, Boom has a great partnership with like Rewind beer and stuff like that, where they have like the Boom beer and stuff like that that's available at all of their shows. I would like to find a way to tap into that as well and have different wrestlers have their own beer. Like there's different ways to try and think of things and market things in a way that wrestling normally doesn't. So I mean, any form of like a snack, any form of I would love to get into other forms of beverages somehow. I don't know, but I'm also looking into like the old things that I loved as a kid, like the wrestling buddies and stuff like that that were a thing. I'm gonna say like the gambler, he himself, him and his wife are expecting a child later this month actually. So I was trying to think of little things that I could make for him even to give to like his child when his child's born. So I mean, if I could get a Bryce wrestling buddy for his son to have at home, that would be an amazing thing. So for myself, I started making onesies for him, just like little t-shirt onesies. I started with like the new Rex shirt that'll be coming out, and I put together like a little gambler shirt and stuff like that. So I just want to tap into other ways of marketing and wrestling merch that people generally don't.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited to see whatever's next on the agenda for you. It's kind of
Thank you.
never ending. So I was a regular listener to the Defiant Ones podcast hosted by PNW wrestling legend Kevin Deers.
Yeah.
Sadly passed away earlier this year. He would always ask his guests to tell a story about their scars.
Yeah.
You had mentioned when he passed, you would have loved to tell your story on there. So to honor Kevin and to give you an opportunity to share your story, I would love to hear the story about your scar.
Deal. Well, for those of you ever seen me at a wrestling show, I do just wear trunks. I never have like a shirt on or anything like that when I wrestle. So I have a very large scar across my abdomen from an appendectomy. I had to have my appendix removed when I was in the 12th grade. So the story goes that I skipped the last 2 blocks of school to go to all you can eat pizza at Pizza Hut. So there used to be one of the old school Pizza Hut buffets relatively close to my high school. So me and a couple of my friends, we skipped class and we went to all you can eat pizza. And I can eat a lot of pizza. I can't remember the exact number, but it's in the 20s, the number of slices that I consumed this day. And so I go home, and as soon as I get home, my parents are there and they got the good old phone call from the school saying that your son had missed some classes today. So my dad's not too happy with me. He's quite upset with me. He basically just tells me, go do my schoolwork and basically go to bed. That's the end of my day. So, all right, I take my punishment and I'm trying to get ready to go to sleep. And as I'm lying in bed, I start to feel a pain in my stomach that's getting worse. It doesn't feel like a regular stomach ache or indigestion or something along those lines. So I get up and I go see my dad, who's now also in bed. And I'm like, my stomach's really hurting. And he himself is still upset with me for skipping school. So he tells me, he's like, no, you go back to bed. This is indigestion. This is what you get for eating 20 X number of slices of pizza. Go back to bed. So, all right. So I go back to bed and I try and go to sleep. And no, it's getting worse and worse and worse. So I go wake up my dad now, who's asleep, and I tell him it's getting worse. And so my mom wakes up next to him, and my dad's still telling me, no, it's just go back to sleep, have a Tums, that sort of thing. You'll be fine in the morning. And my mom, being the wonderful person that she is, she sits up and she's about to climb out of bed to take me to the hospital. And so my dad, now being the gentleman that he is, tells my mom to go back to sleep and he'll take me to the hospital. So we load into the car and we're driving on our way to the hospital. And while we're almost there, I feel like a pop in my stomach. Like it just hurts really bad now. So boom, they rush me in. I go straight into emergency and I have my surgery. So I wake up the next morning and I have a giant incision across like my stomach that's all stapled up. And I get to meet with my surgeon who says, yep, you had to have an emergency appendectomy. And she admits to me that I'm like one of her first surgeries outside of school, outside of like her medicine school. So she started my surgery by giving me my incision in the wrong direction. So now I have an extra long incision because of that. And so I'm all stapled up and put back together. And she's like, so that's it. She's like, come back, visit me. I'd stay in the hospital for a couple days, but she's like, come back and visit me in like 3 weeks or so, and we'll take your staples out and you should be fine. So time goes on, I recover, I'm doing okay, and it's time to go back to get the staples removed. So I do, I show up. She's like, yep, it looks great. She removes all the staples. She sends me home. And I'm not kidding you. I'm sitting at home and I honestly sneeze and the incision opens up like a zipper. It just opens and I panic. I go find my dad again and I'm showing him a hole in my stomach that is not supposed to be there. And he immediately, all right, back to the hospital we go. And there they're like, you'll be fine. They just put this oversized band-aid on me and they're like, you have to heal from the inside out now. So they sent me home where I had to have a care nurse come like every couple days and help me. But that's why I have this gigantic scar across my stomach, is from the
Oh,
adventure of all I can eat pizza at Pizza Hut.
so did you ever repeat that same mistake of going for all you can eat pizza after
I
that?
still do want, like, well, there's you can't find a buffet anymore, but I try and still do it at home. I had pizza actually yesterday, and I always think about it. Not Pizza Hut's fault. It was never their fault. It was just my time for my appendix to rupture.
Oh my God, that is just dominoes after just a domino effect. Crazy.
Oh yeah, just event
Um,
after event after event, and yeah,
so if anyone ever sees Rex and they want to bring him something at our show, bring him candy and pizza.
candy and pizza, absolutely.
Oh man, that this has been really fun. I just have one more question for you.
Absolutely.
Just talk to me about what you have upcoming and where we can find you next.
Where you can find me next, I'm doing a little show. I'm doing actually a wrestling match at a rave in Vancouver on the 25th of this month. It's put on by Normie Corp, it's a company that was established over COVID. They're very big in the rave community, and they found over COVID that they weren't able to get together for their social events and hang out with each other. So they started hosting dance parties over like Skype and stuff like that. So I thought that was super interesting. And just via Rent a Ring, I had one of their producers reach out to me and they're like, would you be interested in having a wrestling show at one of our raves? And I was like, that sounds absolutely awesome. So I myself, I referred it over to Parm at Dusk to help do the whole booking of the show and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm going to wrestle at a rave there, which I don't know what the match will be. It's more of a warm-up match than anything. But my first actual match back post thumb injury will be at Dusk Pro on the 2nd out in Granville Island. After that, the only stuff that's really on my books right now is Boom's Kits League. So every month, there's going to be 3 Boom shows now. There'll be 1 Kits League show and then 2 shows at their regular Commercial Drive Legion. So each one of the kit shows, you'll see me there I'm off this month. This month is like my bye week. So you won't see me at the November show, but starting again, oh, sorry, in the October show, but you'll see me back there starting November all the way through till June of next year. So I'm about to open my books and start taking more bookings. So hopefully that starts to fill up. I would love to be back at like NEW again with the Gambler. Hopefully make a run for their tag titles and stuff like that as well. Go back to 365. Basically anywhere in Vancouver, Lower Mainland, anywhere that would love to book me, I'm open to it. Reach out to me on my socials and we can talk about some stuff. So we'll build that calendar back up.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to getting you back full steam ahead. And thank you so much for your time today, Rex. This has
I
been
appreciate it.
fantastic.
Thank you very much for having me.